What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Music NFT podcast. Brock and Aaron back at it again with you for another week. Brock, how are we doing? How are we feeling?
As you know, we've had a massive week of
the boys have been on tour.
Fred again events. I am exhausted. I've got so much work to catch up on, but you know, once in a lifetime opportunity. Got to take advantage of it.
Mate,
still young.
Work comes and goes, but Fred definitely doesn't.
You
gotta get him while you can.
As mentioned last week, we went to, or at least was it 2 weeks ago?
No, 2 weeks ago.
We went to the Fred Again concerts, one on the Gold Coast, one in Sydney. They were just as amazing as we'd hoped. A lot of people on the Gold Coast would disagree because they didn't get a boat, not because they're kids. But yeah, we just had a great time, and I really think, again, it just was a showcase of how just how clever of an artist he is, how genuine, how much he understands his community, his crowd, the music that they want to listen to. Even though it was like Saturday was only a DJ set, played a bunch of new stuff, bunch of bangers. Everyone's a bit annoyed he didn't play all of his Spotify hits, but he did play. Saturday was like
a Coachella or like Boiler Room set. Like it was just fun. He was back to backing. It was just a fun time.
What's the Sahara tent? Is it what it would have been in at Coachella? The Sahara tent is where we were, and it was sick. And he just had Big Hand from Joy Anonymous was up there, and I don't know who the other guy was. There was three of them up there, didn't that was great. And then then the Sydney show, fucking the guy. I have no idea how that man does 3 shows back to back. It like to do an hour and a half of what he did, the energy that he gave up to the crowd was just insane.
It really and actually when we were watching him, I was thinking like it actually must be hard for him to enjoy any of that because it's like he's so focused on like what he's doing. He's like playing live and just like there's just so much, and he's just like like remixing stuff on the fly, and just it's actually like insane. And the show was crazy. The energy in the stadium was fucking unreal. It was really, really cool.
Pretty much from the start, the second that he started his set, it was high energy, and it was great to see. And one thing I wanted to bring up that I felt was pretty valuable for our listeners here, and not just like a wank fest on Fred, was a lot of artists tend to always try and promote their new track, the next track out, and just the way he did it across his show, I felt was very planned, but it felt organic to me. So it's like you could see after reviewing the show, I could see what he'd done, but because I'm looking for those things, obviously, as well as a experienced music listener and event runner. But what he did was he had a new song with Joy Anonymous. So he starts it off really slowly and just like open and honest, like, hey, this is my new song. I want you to sing, I want everyone to sing, learn the words. Here's the words. Did that for like a couple of minutes while we were all like singing along to it, got everyone to sing along, and then went into the song. And then he literally layered that song and that chorus into the rest of the set. It popped up probably 3 or 4 more times, and it's what he left us with as well. Right at the end, the last minute of the show was him just doing that chorus and playing it for everyone to get in to sing along. And I walked out and I was singing in my head. I'm like, you bastard. Well done.
Well, and even just like another layer to that is that it's not like him getting the crowd to sing the lines was unauthentic, because he was doing that like on a previous song and like getting people to say the words. So it's like you didn't feel like you were being coerced into like, getting the lyrics stuck in your head. It's like it was just part of the show, and he like seamlessly blended that marketing, I guess, into his set. And at the end of the night, me and Brock are like walking back to the hotel going, I hope you fed a piece
Serve me. Like, he got us. We got
So
we got funneled.
that was, yeah. And now we'll wait for it. We'll wait for the next song because we've heard it and we liked it, and yeah, we already know the words. So definitely a great strategy. And even just like, another thing that I noticed as like as someone who's a fan, just like the level of detail in the merch. Each, Melbourne had specific Melbourne merch and Sydney had specific Sydney merch.
Which turned them into
And just like
collectibles.
yeah, exactly.
People
Which
already
is like,
hunting.
if you want to collect them all, like you want to get all the ones. Apparently, I didn't see this at the Sydney one because ours would obviously differ. But apparently, Melbourne, he obviously did 3 nights, and each night had. So the merch says Melbourne again, and it's like night 1 was Melbourne again, night 2 was Melbourne again, night 3 Melbourne again, and it's just like that limited edition like merch, or like the merch that shows like which show you're at, is just, yeah, it's such a collectible, and like it's just so smart. So smart.
Yeah, that he is a new wave of artist, and that I've seen of late, and it's just really great to be a part of it and watch it, and even just the amount of people I know that have, like, it's crazy to think, like literally 2 years ago I hadn't heard of him at all. And like, obviously being in the music industry, that's my fault. He was growing and was already available, but his Boiler Room set going viral, sweeping the nation, and then everyone's just been like, Fred's on been on everyone's lips, and then to come here and literally do, insane auto numbers. Just congrats, and then just to see, as I said, the rest of the layers to what he's doing and how he gets a crowd going. Yeah, it's a real masterclass on how to be an artist and how to grow a fan base and turn them, just like even what Aaron just said. Yeah, like the merch stuff. No one's doing that.
No.
But you know what I mean? Like, just making it. It wasn't like insane merch. Like, it wasn't like the best merch I've fucking ever seen. But just like a little collectible layout that puts you in a group of other group. Like, it's like, okay, well, I was day 2. How do I know? And if I see someone else with like day 2, I know that they were day 2. So just like adds that little interaction that you can have with people, knowing that I was one of the 16,000 or 20,000 that saw him.
Yep. So good. So yeah, we can't speak highly enough of the tour. Apparently there's more shows coming, so we will see. Maybe we'll go to another one. Hey, Brocky?
If there's one in Brisbane, I'll go again.
Yeah. Again. Brisbane again. In other music NFT news, Coachella, they're back in the NFT game. They had NFTs that they launched 2 years ago on FTX, and if you're out of the loop in the Web3 and crypto space, FTX has had a monumental downfall and has crumbled to the ground. And if you owned NFTs on FTX like we did with our Coachella NFTs, they were essentially lost in the flames. But they are back, and they've collabed with OpenSea, which is interesting because OpenSea is kind of on the way out. People are not vibing with OpenSea anymore as much as they are with Magic Eden, which is now like the dominant platform.
As a guide, OpenSea was pretty much the only platform when we started trading NFTs in 2020. Now it is the 5th platform. So
yeah,
and it has had the most funding, has the most money, has never but has never done anything for the community besides fuck them, and is now starting to get left behind. So I'm really interested to see if they will do anything.
What their comeback strategy is. Drop a token for us, baby.
Yeah.
Give us some cash.
Because we know everyone likes a bit of farming in the community.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
But yeah, so Coachella are back. It looks like they're launching a new, I guess, like themed NFT. So the old NFTs that we have, which we're supposedly getting back, were like old posters of Coachella through the years that they were that had like promoted the festival, and you could like own those digital assets. And then if you own the digital asset, you could claim it for like a real poster that they would send you. And there was also another one which could give you this like Coachella themed like art book, like decorative book. So we never claimed those, but we're very keen to.
Mm.
The new ones that they've got,
Well, because it happened so
are called,
quickly as well when an FTX crashed. Like
well,
we'd
yeah,
just gotten.
FTX crashed, and just there was no time to do anything, and I guess you kind of didn't expect something as big as FTX to just literally crumble in a day. But so the new ones that they've got are called keepsakes, and I guess they're kind of marketing it as those like memorabilia kind of NFTs or digital collectibles. And the first one that they've launched is you can buy a VIP pass to this year's Coachella with like Oasis Lounge access, which is obviously just a VIP lounge on site. But so they're literally selling VIP tickets through these NFTs, which I think is interesting. It's interesting that they're still. I would have thought after the whole FTX thing, they would have just dusted their hands with it and gone, yeah, look, maybe not, but they're back.
Well,
and
it's
it
a way
seems
for
like
them
they're
to
committed
access.
to.
Yeah, they're accessing free money essentially. Like they're accessing the crypto market. Like that's what the smart thing is for them. Is like they're going. Not everyone has fiat that they want to spend.
Not everyone has $3,000 in their wallet ready to spend, but they do
but,
have $3,000 in ETH that they're like, yeah, I could fucking get rid of that. I'll go to Coachella this year. Which is true.
The interesting thing, like while we've been discussing this, I've been reading an article recently over in 2023. There's been a few communities started where basically they're crowdfunding or building a it's like fundraising in a sense. So what's it called? So like basically having a fund where there's a fund manager and then everyone donates into it to save small venues in the community. And there's one in particular that started to grow and they've got like 4 or 5 venues under their belt. But what they do is they then they'll then they got to own the land, own the property, like basically take it all over, and then they lease it back to the original owner. Like they buy it just before it collapses essentially. And they lease it back to them, but they lease it back to them at a non-fucking bananas market rate. But you have to commit to like having a certain amount of live music on. Like you still got to run it in a way that's indicative of how they wanted it to be run. And I was thinking of that now in a way where like seeing obviously this meme coin craze, someone actually said something pretty valuable where it's like, if you really think about it, a meme coin is just a fan token. It made me think about the prospect of like what's happening on Solana right now with meme coins and just creating something where there's a fund. I mean the fund, the craze of crypto as always, like right now, Dog with Hat, they've raised 650,000 US to try and put it on the Sphere. Like for those of you who don't look up meme coins, look up WIF and you'll see it, the money that's been raised to put up in the Las Vegas Sphere. Like there's just things like that where I feel like if you got a community behind these things more, because like just the amount of festivals that are getting exposed is just underbooked, and people like they're just trying to continue the path of like, well, it worked last year, let's just roll a similar lineup out again. Like someone put a really good, like we just had our in Australia, the Splendor in the Grass, which is the Coachella of Australia, and someone compared Glastonbury's lineup with Splendor in the Grasses lineup, and it's just like million years apart. And obviously UK is the middle of Europe, so it's you're going to get all those people, but Australia doesn't even have anything even like 50% of that. And Splendor still, looking back at it, has never even touched on that. Like I think Soundwave is probably the closest festival we've had that's come even near to like, wow, whoa, wow. Like there's just so many people in this lineup. And I think what needs to happen is we need something like the blockchain or something like NFTs to get behind venues like they are now, but remove that top end of like, it needs to be a fund or fund managers and just remove banks from it. Have a token.
Mm.
And I mean, DAOs as well are just a mess from what my experience so far. And be looking at festivals where the community, because like think of having, like we talk about with an artist, like think of having 10,000 people behind a festival that are actively making money off it, that want to promote the festival, that want to that have a say in like the music that's booked. And like obviously there's people that manage it, and not everyone can have everyone can vote, but not all of them are going to mean something, because you still have to make decisions on that. But it's putting someone in charge that they believe in, that's going to book the right music, those kind of things. I feel like we're moments away from something like that happening, where an idea forms and it'll be in a small town, whether it's in Australia or when it's another country, and someone will come up with something that has a following of like a couple of thousand people, and they'll end up with like $1 million, and then that'll turn into, it'll get a story in the national paper, and then all of a sudden it'll be $100 million, and then they'll be off to the races and creating a festival that's community run. Because I think we're so far gone now from like, because the people that own Coachella own, like Golden Voice own Splendor in the Grass as well. So it's just the same people making the same money from the same acts in different countries. Like it's gotten to the point now where too many of the same events are owned by just the one companies, and they're all starting to look very vanilla, and that's why they're all collapsing on each other, because all the consumers have started to realize that I can just if I don't go to this, it won't matter, because I'll see the act next year. And that's my thoughts for today.
And to tell you what that actually sounds perfect for is Fire Festival 2 that they're planning. I feel like they could honestly get so much money by like dropping a coin or something and having like people involved in Fire Festival 2. I think that would absolutely go nuts. But
Send it. What's his name?
That is
what's the Fire Festival name?
Billy.
Get behind it. Billy token. I'll start it up. I'm starting it right now.
Firecoin. But yeah, that's kind of all the news that we've got this week. Make sure to rate, review, subscribe, share it with a friend, and we will see you next time. Hopefully with a little less fretting and chat, but maybe more.
Maybe more. Bye. Definitely more.